Hello? Is this thing on?
Welcome to Trending, the podcast that examines the latest trends in fashion, beauty, and lifestyle.
We're your hosts, Tinsley and Dalian, and we're here to give you the inside scoop on how to adapt, ditch, or embrace the latest trends.
Whether you're a fashionista looking to stay ahead of the curve, a millennial just trying to keep up with Gen Z, or you're someone who wants to stay informed about what's hot and what's not, we've got you covered.
So sit back, relax, and join us as we dive into the world of trending fashion, beauty, and friendship. So off topic, I'm looking at my apartment and I'm like...
We haven't even gotten to the topic.
I actually thought that made you sound really good.
We're gonna use this podcast to hype ourselves up.
I know.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Trending with Dalian and Tinsley, or with Tinsley and Dalian, yet to be.
Yeah, we're still unsure.
This week, Tinsley and I, you can't see us, but we are wearing something different than the last 2 weeks. And the last 2 weeks, we wore the same exact thing, and we
had
didn't
no
realize
idea.
it
Didn't plan it.
until after the
Not
recording.
the same as each other, just like we literally wore the same outfit that personally we wore the time before, which is embarrassing.
It is embarrassing. And when I went back to edit the videos, I was like, well, which one is which? Because visually, I cannot tell the two apart.
No. I wouldn't. Honestly, maybe that's all one episode to us in our minds.
Maybe.
Just like part 2. So we had to wear the same outfit.
It actually sort of was, but this episode is going to be unique on its own.
Because we're wearing something different.
Because we're wearing something different, yes. So how are you doing? We just came off of an episode about sharing about our unemployment experience, fun employment. How are you doing?
Currently a little unwell. I was just telling Dalian before this, I had this crazy migraine all day, and I was like, you know what? Today's the day I'm going to really sit down and put all my effort into applying to some more jobs. Okay, little did I know that I was going to get the worst migraine of my life and lay in bed all day until this very second. But I'm committed to the people, to the fans, so I'm here.
We're so glad.
Okay, in general, before the worst migraine, really good. I just feel like a little bit overwhelmed because I'm like, whoa, it's already been 5 weeks since I've lost my job, and I really have been putting all my energy into like exploring New York, having fun, being with my husband when he has a random day off, and making content. That's something that I'm really enjoying, and I didn't have time to do it before. But I have not been focusing as much on finding jobs. And it's not even that I'm not motivated. I'm totally motivated. I feel just discouraged doing it because I'm like, who even is reading these applications? Do you know what I mean?
Yes, to put a lot of work into it and then to send it into the abyss, and you're like, will anyone ever see this? I do not like that.
Robots? I swear robots are putting out these applications because I'm not really getting any feedback. And so I'm just reevaluating everything. I'm like, am I applying to jobs that I'm overqualified for or underqualified for? I don't really know.
It is hard to gauge. It's really hard to gauge. That's super tough.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I am only applying to jobs to collect my unemployment benefits.
Okay.
Like my unemployment checks.
But you're still experiencing the robots.
Yeah. I mean, I've gotten some responses, but not a ton. And it does sort of
Okay.
It does sort of get to you though. Like I mean, to put out like 30 and get back 1 is like
try 100. It's
the
worst.
It's an interesting time right now because the job market is just full of people who are unemployed. So it's just like it's super interesting. But I'm focused on so many other things right now that
you are.
Yeah, I'm sort of just I feel like I'm floating. Like
Yeah, like last week you didn't text me back at all. I was like, this girl is booked and busy.
I was busy. I was so busy and
Yeah.
I'm sorry I didn't text you back. And you
No,
had
I
like
was
all
sorry.
kinds of
I was
crazy
like,
stuff
oh
going
my God.
on. Thank you. I was busy last week. And then my household was hit by the stomach bug this week.
Oh
So,
gosh.
you're just up one week and you're down the next, and
Yeah. And
that
the
ain't
stomach
that
bug,
life. Okay, so you told me what the title of this episode was going to be, and the listeners have already seen it, but just share with us where you're coming from today.
okay, so the last week or two, or maybe my entire life, maybe the last year or two. Okay, we'll just say my whole life. I've been wondering, how do girls our age, women, girls, I don't know, how do these women buy designer bags in their 20s?
Hmm.
How are we keeping up with our nails? How do you set aside a minimum of $100 each month to get your nails refreshed? Okay,
Hmm.
because my nails are never done. My nails are done maybe once or twice a year. And don't get me wrong, like I love it, but I don't have that kind of disposable income each month. And I'm not just talking about like your basic mani pedi. I'm talking about like special dip acrylic almond shape bejeweled flowered nails that cost like $150 every time. Maybe you live somewhere where it's like a little cheaper than that, but I know in Nashville, girls were paying like
Yeah,
150, 100 each time and they don't stop. And
yeah.
it's the same with Pilates. Here in New York, it's Equinox. I am not understanding. So if someone could maybe write us and tell us how this is happening, let us know. I'm not going to get into like the whole money budget thing, comparison. No, I'm truly genuinely interested in how you have money to keep up with your nails or maybe buy a $10,000 Chanel bag when my car was worth $500.
I mean, yeah,
Sure,
if
it
you're
was
out
way too
there
low.
and if you're doing the most, um, and you have like a trick to it, let
Yeah,
us
let
know.
us know. Do you have
We'll
a
bring you on the
membership?
show.
You want a
You
membership
know,
to the
so
nail salon?
okay, well, my theory, if I had to guess how people are doing the most, I do think, you know, people's circumstances can vary. Um, and people's priorities can vary. Um, I don't know if you've heard of there's like a new series on Netflix called, um, okay, well, I'm gonna have to fact check myself. It's called How to Get Rich, I think.
It,
Um,
that's a show?
yeah. Um,
Realistic?
yeah. So, okay, so it's based on this theory, and I'm gonna pull up the name of it so that I can double check myself. But it's based on the thinking that like you design your rich life, and everyone's rich life looks different. So like for you, if for your rich life you want the nails and the handbags and the things, like you should go all in on that and basically like cut your costs everywhere else. Like no DoorDash, no of the other stuff, like no eating out, no, like or whatever. Like whatever your rich life looks like, you really like push in on that and you don't indulge in the other stuff. I love it in theory.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think it's hard in practice. So the guy who is like who's the host of the show, yeah, it's called How to Get Rich. His name is Ramit.
Ram
We're gonna
it.
have to edit this out because I don't want to butcher someone's name, but or I'll re-record the actual name. Anyway, it's called How to Get Rich.
Okay.
I think that theory is interesting because I think it could explain how some people live that way.
Yeah, it's like great in theory. What if you just don't indulge in anything? Like, we're just out here trying to get by, trying to pay the rent and and stick to our food budget and not go crazy at restaurants every weekend. You know, like I have a small personal budget, but if I wanted anything new, if I wanted any clothes, all of that would have to be forfeited to the nail salon.
Yeah, I struggle. I mean, whenever I get my nails done, I always say to myself, like, oh, I love this feeling. I want
I
to
love
keep
it.
this up. I want to keep it up. And then I inevitably fall off because it is actually for me when I need to cut expenses, that's the first thing to go because,
First thing.
well, it's the easiest thing to go for me personally. I can
Mhm,
live without it. For the last couple years of my life, I'm working from home. No one sees my hands. So it's
mhm.
just like it's one of those things because it's a thing I really do for me. So, I can live without it. Um, yeah, the nails is hard. I mean, I can't even entertain the idea of a luxury handbag, but
No,
like I don't we can't even entertain that yet. But um the Pilates and the exercise in my mind, I think how you think about these things is like important because in my mind I put the exercise into basically like the health category and it's like a need. Like whatever money I need to spend on my health and wellness, it's like I don't think twice about it.
I hear you. I think the thing with me and I've been questioning this whole like Pilates movement is that I know it costs between, let's say, $150 to $300 a month, depending on how much you want to go in a month.
Mhm.
That's a lot when you also have a partner in your household that also needs a membership if they have the same kind of interest. So then you're looking at like $300 to $600 a month. And I think where I'm like, it's kind of what you were saying, whoever is telling you indulge in the thing that you want to indulge in. My thing is, and not everything we see on social media is real, but what I'm seeing on social media is that girls are indulging in everything. They've got the
Mhm.
Pilates membership, they've got the nails on fleek. Do we still say that, on deck, on fleek? I don't
Do
know why
we
that
still
came to
say
my mind.
that? Someone tell us.
I have not said that in 5 years.
My gut says no.
Okay, yeah. Okay. We could erase if we don't feel right about that. Um I don't know why that came out of my mouth. Um, where was I?
Look,
So they've got the Pilates membership, they've got the nails, they've
people
got the
are doing everything. It looks like there are people out there who can do it all.
yes.
Can I
And
just poke a hole in that though? Like, is it a facade?
I don't know. That's what I have been pondering because I'm seeing these girls in their young 20s, mid 20s, and I'm like, there's no way that you live alone in New York. There's no way you're buying all these clothes. There's no way you're sporting 10 different designer bags and also have the best nails and also be going to like Equinox in the city. For me, with the whole health, health and wellness category, I totally put that above a lot of things. I don't put that above my clothing budget each month because for me personally, I've gotten the same results from being at the YMCA for 6 years and now being in my apartment gym. Like, I think a little bit of it is like, of course, you feel so nice and good and motivated when you go to like these expensive workout
Mhm.
classes. And some of it I think is for the look. But like, let's be honest, if you need to cut a little bit of money, we could
It's
maybe find a
another
cheaper
place to
gym.
cut. Yeah,
Yeah,
for
it's a
sure.
place for me to cut. So that's why sometimes I have a hard time justifying these super expensive workout memberships. And I think sometimes we struggle as a society in this like Gen Z millennial stage of like everything has to look so perfect and neat and put together. You know
Mm.
what I was also thinking about? And then I'll shut up about this. I was in my apartment gym, and there there's so many girls that come in and it's like a fashion show at the gym, and I'm like, okay, you know, I totally get that. I want to always be super cute and stylish. Actually, when I'm like cute and stylish at the gym, I do work out better. I do feel better.
You do?
But I do. It's just, I don't know. It makes me feel better than like, okay, this is my Athleta shirt that's been washed 1,000 times and I've owned it since 2016. My budget doesn't allow for me to have super cute workout sets all the time, too. It's
Nah,
just,
nah.
it's like, when did we get to this place of like everything has to be wrapped with a bow 24/7?
Mm.
It's like, can we not work out in a t-shirt sometimes? Can we not just wear like an do we have to work out in a matching workout set from Aloe Yoga? And that's the thing. These girls will go to Pilates in their matching sets from Aloe Yoga that you know they paid $100+ for. And I will splurge on that sometimes. I totally will. But it's like you never see them not wearing that. So yeah, is it a facade? Are they in massive credit card debt? Or can they really do this? And then I'm just not on their level.
I mean, obviously, we can speculate, but we won't know the answer.
We
But
won't.
what I think is happening is you're sort of like, it's sort of the idea of Instagram, like seeing someone's highlight reel. Like
Yeah.
maybe you saw someone on the day where they wore their Lululemon set that they got on
Uh-huh.
sale or that their mom got them for Christmas, but
Uh-huh.
maybe like on laundry day, they have to wear like something normal. You know, like what I'm saying is like, I know it feels that way, but like, I personally, I love a cute set. I love a matching set. I love a set. Workout, regular, whatever. I love a set, pajama set. I'm here for the sets. But I look like complete garbage when I work out. And I actually kind of revel in that. I kind of love it. I feel like there is something so freeing and rebellious, almost to your point, about going on my walk or leaving the house looking not put together when I'm exercising. Because
Yeah.
who the heck cares? Nobody will see me when I'm on a walk. There's
Right.
that. Because I don't usually go to a public place. So I do think when you're going to like a class
Right.
and you're in that group setting, I do feel that pressure if I go to like a yoga
Yeah.
class. I mean, it's an odd pressure because it's all, but again, because again, who knows you there? Like, and
I think
it's not. I think what you're gonna say is that it's not for other people. Like it's for you. Is that what you're gonna say?
no, but yeah,
Okay.
good point.
I mean, yeah, it's like it's so many sides of the coin. I personally, that is not where I want my dollars to go. Like I am happy
Mhm.
with my Target stuff, my old stuff. Like my workout collection is garbage. And if I have anything brand name, it is old. My mother bought it for me in high school, or I got it on sale, like sale, sale, sale.
Yeah.
And that's just me. But I know what you mean about like why does it all have to be perfect and luxury? It's it's tough. I will say, and this is I'm going to do a little sponsorship opportunity plug. I'm just going to manifest this on top of our newly sponsorship. Um, I
Yeah.
think I think a hack to the workout thing is ClassPass. I used to do ClassPass
Mhm.
here in Atlanta in like 2015, 2016 when it was
Mhm.
sort of first out. And I just took a look at their pricing plans. So
Mhm.
they have a $49 a month model, an $89 a month model, and $139 a month, which is not bad at all. Because what I used to like about it is that I could go to different gyms around the city, try out different things, and sort of like if I wasn't feeling in the mood for spin class that day, I could go to a yoga class instead. And that is why personally I have trouble committing to like this huge yoga package or the boxing package or whatever it is, because I like variety, and I'm like, I'm not going to spend all my dollars at your one gym. I like the class pass option because I can do whatever I feel I need to do that day. So that's just like I think it could be a hack.
Yeah, I've had a lot of friends do that. What does the $49 a month get you?
It may be, so they do it by like credits. So it's
Okay.
23 credits, and then like depending, like higher, like fancier gyms will require more credits. So that may be 2 classes a month, but it also could be 3 depending on what kinds of classes you do.
Yeah, again, that's just like not the hill I'm gonna die on, and I understand that like that is a great deal. Yeah. But for me, I'm like, we don't have a lot of like fun money, and I think I'd rather just keep my full clothing budget, which if you don't follow me on social media, it's $175 a month. And that's pretty much it. Like we go out to eat a moderate amount and I buy clothes.
But those are
And
like your things. Like those
those
are
are
your
my
priorities.
things. Yeah. And maybe somebody's like, I want to just do my nails. Is that what we're seeing on social media? Not really. But I like how you said, yeah, why does everything have to always feel so luxurious? Like
Yeah.
a girl will wear sold out New Balances to the gym. And I'm like, okay, can we not wear some Asics? Can we not wear some Hokas, you know? And, and I guess where I'm coming from is like, I'm literally paying $60 a month to go to the gym every day of my life. I could be in there. I could be in there 24/7.
You
So
going
yeah,
to the Y, or you going to the gym in your building?
the YMCA, my husband and I paid, I think it was about $100 a month for the both of us.
I think that's
And
brilliant.
that's the most expensive it ever was because they do a sliding scale. This is also not an ad for the YMCA, and I probably would never hit up the YMCA here in New York City, but it's actually pretty nice in Nashville. So yeah, we would do that. We would look up the Orange Theory workouts on our phone because people would post those. And
Oh,
I'm sorry to Orange Theory, but we did this. And then we would, we would do the Orange Theory workouts at the YMCA. Now in New York, nothing's free. So the gym in our apartment is not free, but we each pay like, I don't know, $60 a month. It's a gym.
that's what I'm
Get
saying.
out
I'm
there and
like,
run, get out there and walk.
I mean, that's
Free YouTube videos.
I'm I've been all about free exercise. I mean, since the days of cheerleading were over for me and I wasn't forced to do exercise every day after school for 5 days a week, plus weekends, I like it was walking, and it was Cassie Ho Blogilates on YouTube. And that stuff is probably still free. Do you remember Cassie?
Girl, I still do it. I did her video last week.
Why not?
She's thriving. She's got a
She has a
whole,
whole line at Target.
yes. And I was like, oh, here's something. Here's something so mind blowing for you guys. Me and Dalian would do Pilates workouts in high school, like 10 years ago. Now this girl's blowing up on social media. We didn't even have social media back then. Now she's got a
I
whole
love
line
Cassie
at
Ho.
Target. No, she's rocking it, and her videos still kill. But I've got a couple
I
other
mean,
girls that I like too, so I like do those more than Pilates.
I can still remember the abs on fire routine.
Speaking of, and I don't know how this turned into like a whole exercise video or what? Not a video, a podcast. Now I'm like in the zone. I'm like having serious flashbacks to being on Dalian's third level, which I just thought was the coolest thing ever. Her house had 3 levels, but really the third level was just one room, and yeah, we would do these
Playroom, yeah.
workouts. I don't
The
know.
workout room.
The playroom, we
Yeah.
were like 16 years old.
Yeah. I was going to say, speaking of friendships, but I don't even know if that's the right segue. We did not wear the same thing that we had previously worn the episodes before, but we did show up to this call wearing the same earrings, the same earring trend that I do want to discuss for a second, which is
You
the
girls
very
know.
the very abrupt, the very sharp pivot away from gold jewelry to silver or white gold. I mean,
Yes, ma'am.
this trend is shocking me as I see it come out just because I just never thought I'd see it. And I don't know how long it's been because not in my lifetime that I can remember. I mean, maybe I did have some silver hoops when I was in middle school, but like it was gold. It's always been gold, and I just really never thought I would see the switch back to the silver. But I love it. I'm here for it. We're clearly here for it.
I'm
Um,
wearing
I've
it.
got
We're
my I've got the
trendy.
I'm trending, and I love this trend. I'm here
What
for it.
is yours? You got a double hoop situation?
I'm
Or
doing a
that's
double hoop. On this year, I've got
mm,
a silver hoop in one hole and then the big bubble hoop in the
oh,
big
that
hole.
totally threw me off.
I know. It's and then
Okay,
on
so
on here I don't have it, but I want to do that and then do like a silver cuff. Like I just want to have
mm,
silver galaxy ears.
yes. Futuristic ears. Okay, so yours is like the Bottega knockoff. Like, are those Anthro?
I was gonna say, can you tell they're the knockoff?
Um, it's not that
Yes.
I can tell that they're the knockoff. I just think Anthro did a really good job at knocking them off.
They are the Anthro knockoff. Yes.
And they're like all over TikTok.
They I just
And
I
they're
was at the
amazing.
mall. I haven't been to the mall and I went
No,
to South
me either.
Park Mall.
Whoa.
I have
Okay, what's
not
that
been to
mall that's a
South
like
Park.
really fancy mall in Charlotte?
If you know, you know.
You know, you know.
Um, I went there with my mom and my sister, and
Mm,
we used to do that like every weekend,
yeah, y'all did.
and haven't been back in a really long time. And we went to the Anthro there, and I just have been on the hunt for some silver bubble earrings and didn't want to spend a ton. And saw them and was just like, these look right, and they were the right weight. They're just not that heavy. And so I was just like, I'm going for it. I'm going for it. And then I had ordered this other hoop that I'm wearing on my second hole. I had ordered those from Amazon for like $11. Um,
Cool.
but
Amazing.
I was trying them in the big hole and or the first hole, and they didn't look very good, but they look good
Okay,
with the knockoff.
same thing happened to me because okay, and we'll get into like how
What
this
brand are yours?
mine are Jenny Bird,
Okay.
and
They're
I had
that's
just
like one of
spent
the brands people are wanting to buy, right? It's not a
yeah.
knockoff.
Well, yeah, they're not crazy expensive. I would say I'm like I feel like I've had some bad experiences with cheap jewelry or like not even cheap, but a lot of stuff I buy from Anthro has tarnished on me. And so I was definitely looking at those. I was like, you know what? I totally would buy those. It's just at this moment, I had some money left over as a Christmas gift that I actually still hadn't spent. And I was like, I love the look of these Jenny Bird earrings. That's what I'm going to do. I don't mind spending the money because I want this to be a quality pair of earrings. I know I'm going to wear it a lot.
Yeah.
So for me, like spending that money was fine. I got these for 117 and they're so chunky and big. And
117.
oh my gosh, I don't
Sorry.
mind. I don't mind paying that. And that's like another, like we're different because I just my ears are so sensitive and I know
Yeah.
that I've just spent so much money on earrings and jewelry that turned so bad so quickly. And I was just like at a point where I was like, okay, I'm fed up with it. I've wasted so much money on that. I could have just bought like a nice pair that won't tarnish. Anyways, maybe these will tarnish. I really don't know. But I got this was actually like the sale price of them. But yeah, I just like I had the money and I was like, I know that I want these and I had thought about them for about 6 months. And I had just
Wow.
I made sure that over those months when I was thinking about it, it was like every outfit that I put on, I would think about, okay, how would those silver earrings look? And I just came to a decision where I was like, I'm gonna wear these. a ton, and I've worn them
Yeah.
probably every day for the last 2 weeks.
I love it. I mean, I think that's where you and I differ. So like because to me, I'm like it's a trend. I'm
Mm-hmm.
happy to buy the knockoff. I'm happy to buy the cheap one,
Mm-hmm.
you know? But I understand what you mean about jewelry in general, and
Mm-hmm.
it can be an investment. So I just, yeah, like I spent mine are for our listeners, the Anthro knockoff cost me about $44. And I felt like that was a lot to me because I've been, as mentioned, buying the $11 Amazon things. So,
Yeah.
and I've been, or like I'll try to buy earrings from like Etsy, that are
Mm-hmm.
usually like I try to stay below like $25 on jewelry just because I feel that you can achieve a look like that, and there's just so few people are gonna be like, "Oh, is that the so and so earring?" Like, I feel
Mm-hmm.
like that is just not something people recognize the brand as much
No.
as you like the look and the shape or whatever. So, anyway,
Yeah. Unfortunately, a lot of people do knock off designers' jewelry, and that's a category where you really can't tell. And
yes.
for me, I had already been accustomed to ordering stuff from Missouri, which is like same price point as Jenny Bird. Jenny Bird just felt like a little bit more, maybe, I don't know if it's completely sustainable and ethical, but it felt like a little bit more personal, a little bit more thoughtful.
Yeah.
And I'm still on that road of where does this come from? Who's making it? What are the materials?
Yeah.
And I'm not perfect. I'm not like that with everything. I really could do more research. I'll still try to get some like, yeah, some like Amazon stuff. For me personally, it's just like it's how sensitive my ears are.
Yeah.
The thing with the ones that you're wearing, I knew for me that it was gonna be more than a trend. I really latch on to whatever I purchase. And I had bought these like chunky gold earrings probably about 9 months ago.
Yeah.
I wear them constantly. And I just knew I need to get a silver pair that maybe not everybody has, maybe not as like ultra trendy. And this is like no bash on your earrings because I still am like jealous and I love them. I just was like looking for a little bit more of a different shape to where maybe it could pass
Yes.
as classic, which I actually still think the Bottega or the Bottega dupes look very classic.
I mean, I like yours. Well, it's funny that you're saying that this is a specific dupe that I was not aware of and that it's like trending on TikTok because I was going on, I sort of knew the image of the shape I wanted. I didn't want it to
Wow.
hang. I wanted it to be like, I don't know what you call this, but where it's like
I don't either.
pierced through and it has the back
Hmm.
and it's not like a clip. I knew I wanted it to be that, and I knew I wanted them to be light. So when I saw them in the store and picked them up and saw how light they were, I was just like, I'm gonna go for it. So that was like my criteria. And then I was like, oh, they're $44. Like, oh my gosh, it's kind of a lot, but I think I'll wear them a lot this summer at least. So that was the thought
I
process.
looked at
Right, wrong,
those.
and different.
I thought, wow, that's an insane price. How are they getting away with that? But I think it's because I just have knowledge from working at a brand that made jewelry and I know what it takes, what it costs most of the time. But yeah, once the silver jewelry thing was coming back around, I was like, are we doing this? Am I going to partake? Because I've hated silver jewelry for the longest time. But you know what it was? It was like our moms and our moms' friends were like wearing silver jewelry. And I was like, what, is that from Walmart? Is it from K Jewel? It's like, we weren't wearing it in the chicest of ways. And I
Mhm.
think now we can totally do that. And we can also mix metals. And what I'm looking for next is like big bangles. Like I want a
Oh,
big silver bangle. I want a big
yeah. Tell us what's
gold
next.
one. And I think J. Crew has some, but tiny wrist, man. It's the bracelets just don't work for me.
Yeah, and I have the exact opposite problem. I have
Mhm.
a really wide hand, and I cannot get bangles over my hand to even get on my wrist. So there's that. Um,
We didn't
so okay,
really.
so you're saying mixed metals,
Uh-huh.
large, chunky bangles. Is that what you're saying is next? You're predicting, or you know for a
It's
fact?
out there,
Okay.
but um, the thing with jewelry is it's so hard to make it innovative. And so
Hmm.
I think for 2024, we're going to see a lot of like futuristic,
Hmm.
jeweled types of jewelry, like jeweled, like colored jewels, like big,
Yeah.
flashy. That's not really my style right now, but mixed metals has always been around. Like
Yeah.
wearing
Yeah.
gold and silver together has definitely been a thing. I think it was more of a thing a few years ago and it's coming back around. I don't think we're seeing like two-toned necklaces as much anymore or like the two-tone thing, but I think it's fine.
Yeah.
You want to wear a bunch of rings and you got like some silver rings, some gold rings, or it's like wear a bunch
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
bracelets. Yeah.
Well, I don't know if you remember my when we went to that jewelry store in Nashville together
Yes.
and I wanted to get a bracelet and I was going back and forth between the white gold and the gold
Yes.
gold. And I went with the gold, but
Yeah.
I was wanting to wear it on my left hand, and
Mhm.
my wedding jewelry is white gold. And I
Yeah.
just remember, like, I was like, I don't like the mix. Like, I'd rather
Mm.
like between the bracelet and the rings, just personally, I don't like the mix. I don't mind mixing like between my ears and my hands. Those feel like so far away from each other, but
Mhm.
my actual wrist and my fingers, I wanted it to all be the same. Anyway, I think if I had to
Oh,
go back, I would get the silver.
oh man, I should have been more involved in that decision. Also, we're talking about uncommon chains. Hashtag Laguna Beach, Kristen Cavallari. That is in Nashville. I get what you mean because I don't do gold rings. I think there is something about my wedding band and engagement band. It's complete diamond, and y'all, I'm not saying it's like $1 million. I
It's
got married when I was 22. Like, let's chill. It was just the style when I got married.
it's
And there's something
beautiful.
yeah, 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 it is. I'm just, when I say all diamonds, I'm not saying it costs $1 million.
Girl, it's okay.
There's something about it being all diamonds that it's just like a different category. It's like this is like fine jewelry, wedding
Yeah,
jewelry. It's not pairing well with like the cheap $20
yeah.
gold band.
That is
I don't
exactly
mind
what
the
I'm saying.
bracelets. I don't mind bracelets at all. It's the rings. I will do gold rings on my other hand. There's something about my left hand that's like, no, I can't.
I am the exact same. I don't wear a lot of rings because because I'm the same. I have a full diamond band and then my
Yeah.
engagement ring is a solitaire diamond. And
Mhm.
nothing looks good. Like nothing's competing with that. And I don't want anything to compete with that on my left hand
Right.
anyway. So I already think it's weird when I wear my Apple Watch on that wrist. And it's
Yeah.
like the Apple Watch and the bridal jewelry.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
I
Apple
want
Watches,
to
man, that could be a whole other episode. I do want to share one thing before we go,
yeah.
and that is on the topic of designer bags. And I know we touched way more on Pilates than the others, but okay, guys, I went to Canal Street, which is, if you guys don't know, it's like fake designer bag row in New York City. I actually had never been there before. And Diane, I know that you have, and you've like done the whole backroom thing and stuff. I was so overwhelmed there, and I also was like, well, is this it? Because I went down just like a little bit. There's like, I don't know, 5 to 10 blankets, and I'm like, well, that's it. And there's like so many people around.
Oh.
What did I do
No,
wrong? What's wrong with it?
no, no, that ain't
What?
it.
Where do I go?
Oh, okay,
Do I
okay.
go to the women who are holding the
The paper.
booklets?
Yes. So, yeah, so things have changed a bit. since my first visit there.
Well, obviously, because it's been like
I
15
don't even
years.
know if we have time to get into this, but basically, all you need to know is you didn't do it right.
What? Okay, we'll have a whole separate phone call later, but
When I come, we'll go
no,
and we'll do it right
I
because I
need
got
you to come.
Demery. I got Demery banging Louis Vuitton
When?
last time we were there.
What? Like 6 months ago?
It was about a year ago.
What? And you went with someone who had a paper? One of the
Yeah,
women who were just walking around with the booklet of papers, and it's like they show the pictures of the bags. That's who I
yeah.
need to go with. I don't go with the blankets on the street.
No, 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 no.
Why not?
Because those are not as authentic.
They looked it.
They don't keep the authentic stuff on the street. That's like kept somewhere else and they'll bring it out to you and you can only see it quickly. But what happens is if you
Okay.
pick something out, they might bring out more than you pick out. So like
Mm,
if you pick out a Louis Vuitton, if they know you're serious, they'll bring you the goods, is what I'm saying. So if you pick out
wow.
some stuff, they you may pick out a Louis Vuitton, but they may bring out the Gucci because it looks better. And they may say, "Hey, and we also have this." And when you see what they really have, and it's not just on the paper, and you can like touch the material and flip it over and look inside to make sure it doesn't have a different brand's lining, like then you could really examine it and maybe get something good. But I know
I'll
that this is
be
like,
honest, that Prada bag looked good on the street.
okay. I mean, the ones on the street look good too, but there's more than what you
Well,
can
well, then I'm
see.
getting into the whole principle of like, why am I really doing this? Why am I
I
buying
know.
this
Well, I
cheap
know.
$40 bag just to have this label? And then I'm just terrified because I'm like, I don't I don't shop at these brands like that. Of course, I like look for inspiration, but I'm not buying from them. I don't know what the real deal really is. So I'm like, am I going to be walking around New York and some girl's going to be like, oh, that's a fake, you know?
That I love the idea that no one knows, no one really knows.
Do you think that's
Um,
true? No one
I
knows.
I sort of do.
Okay.
Um, but like I might not wear it around you because I might like you will know. But
I will not.
okay. I just think think most people don't. But you're
Okay,
just a person who's like, when I see you, you're paying attention to like the details of me.
for
Like
sure.
last time, like you saw me and you were like, "Did you do your eyebrows?" And I was like
Yeah, and I
in this, I
definitely,
plucked like 3 hairs and she noticed. Like,
mm, yeah,
so like you pick up on things that maybe other people pick up on and wouldn't say out loud, but at
I
least
say it all.
that's what I'm thinking. But I mean, it
Okay.
is it's like a status symbol, and I do think there's
Mhm.
something really valuable about like looking inward and saying like, why do I want this
Right.
status symbol? And not to judge. I mean, I love a nice bag. I love to look
Yeah,
at
you
stuff
got
like
one.
that. I mean, I love bags and shoes and clothes and jewelry and all the things,
I need
but
you to
I just
come
personally am
visit.
not willing to spend on it right now at this
No.
moment in my life. And if I see like a really good $40 knockoff, like why
Mhm.
not? I don't know. I know it can be deeper than that, but that's at least my very shallow philosophy on it.
I think it is a deeper conversation, and I think we will just land on my thought is sure. If you like really, really want a designer bag, you don't have the money for it, maybe dabble in a fake one or two. Don't depend on it. Don't be like getting the latest designer bag every few months from Canal Street, because then I think we got to dig a little deeper.
You didn't do it right.
Ah, well, here's the thing. I went
You're
with
gonna go
Ben,
with me.
but it was Ben's whole world was rocked by this concept. I was rocked, and I just needed some like feminine support. Like here's the thing. Ben is a very tall, gullible looking, nice guy.
In his
These
Panther
women,
hat.
these women were, they would be way across the street. They'd see him. It was like he was just waving a flag, like, yeah, come over and talk to me. I'm looking to buy, because they were just
Yeah.
booking it for him. I was like, okay, maybe I need to come back with a female, and I could definitely use some support and assistance.
We'll go. I find the experience thrilling. So we'll go. I'll take you. We'll do it right.
Please,
Um,
I'm ready to
we've
try it.
covered a lot of topics. We've covered a lot of topics. I always enjoy talking to you. If anyone is still listening,
I'm sorry, we always go so long.
let us know what you think. What do you think? Are you against fake designer handbags? And do you feel like everyone does it all? And if you do it all, tell us how you're doing it all, because we're dying to know.
Please.
Also, no judgment on, really no judgment on anything. We're just making some observations and
Yep.
speaking from our own personal viewpoints here. But if you can do it all, I love you. I think it's amazing.
And we are not those girls. But we strive
Yet.
to.
Yet. This podcast is brought to you by the ADventurist Podcast Network.